Orks vs Necrons 3000 points. The Ork. The ever-evolving warrior. Always learning, always improving, always expanding. As the Ork horde spreads across the galaxy, they encounter new races, new weapons, new technology, new tactics. All absorbed, all adapted, all used to achieve the great mission of a green tide not just sweeping across the universe, but the heavens as well. Char Ul Okna is one of the leaders that believes in such, and he proves it on the battlefield. Not by winning a skirmish here or there, but putting fear into the heart of all creation that the Green Horde cannot be denied. Another skirmish, another experience to learn from. As the Orks press forward, they came across a Necron force. The battlefield is prepped for a bloodbath as both armies were infantry heavy. The Necrons stood in a defiant line, weapons raised. But the Horde did something unexpected. As the armies approached each other, the Orks seemed to disappear behind cover. Were they afraid of fighting something that could come back from the dead? Was the previous engagement of the Necrons filling their hearts with fear? No, they were gathering around their priest, increasing the power of War. In everyday life, these priests or weird boys live an isolated life, but on the battlefield, they can be used to channel the raw energy of the War and inspire their troops onward or inflict pain upon the enemy. The Necrons started by sending out their Lich Guard, moving across the battlefield, and then, the skies filled with the energy of death and destruction from their weapons. With most of the Orks hidden behind cover, the Necrons tried to expose them and opened fire on the ancient buildings. Ruins that have stood against time itself now fall to the ground, exposing the Green Horde behind it. Sparks and green lightning seem to begin to flash from the packed units of Orks. So, concerning, it gave pause to the Lich Guard, one of the most feared infantry units in the known galaxy. At this, war boss Char Ul Okna almost seemed to smile, for the test of this battle was not to be the simple stomping of the enemy into a bloody pulp, but to stand against the strongest unit, to stand against time itself. As Necron units moved about the battlefield, shooting the War, energy was developing into a storm of raining Orks. Units that stood in front of the Necrons were surrounded by an all-consuming green energy. The yells of pain and Ork glory filled the air as units disappeared in the warp energy and then to suddenly appear on the battlefield among the Necron units. For some units, the energy was too much, and they fell to the earth in their weakened state. But they were still able to fight, to move and shoot. While these units were dealing with the energy of the warp, others prepared themselves to charge into the Lich Guard. The true test of the warrior, for the land and objectives, was not the goal for this battle, but the test of the will of the Green Warrior. Is there truly anything to fear in universe other than Mork and Gork themselves? As weapon fire began to blaze across the battlefield, the Necrons held fast, negating almost all damage. The Horde charged, only to have difficulty moving over the destroyed buildings, thus causing them to fall short of their intended prey. Necrons took advantage of the missed opportunity. Their weapons let loose a withering line of firepower and energy. One unit, their energy was so great as to destroy half the Horde. It had to be from the gods themselves, else it would not be a test, a learning experience for the Green Horde. The Lich Guard charged one of the Ork units and a great battle was started. The most feared infantry unit unleashed the fury of their attack, but the War energy held. The Ork banner still flying in the air, inspiring the troops to push on past their wounds and pain. Fight to the death. The unit lost warriors, but not as many as the Necrons had hoped. The unit was still intact, ready to fight again, learning that the Necrons could be destroyed, learning they could stand toe-to-toe as time was needed. It was decided to see if the fear of the Green Horde could exist in such an army as that of the Necrons. The order was given and commanders turned away from easy prey and concentrated on the Lich Guard. Destroy the Lich Guard and make all the universe shake from fear of the Green Horde. Hordes of Orks charged into the Lich Guard, and in a flurry of blades, chop power, and energy, many Lich Guard were decimated, but at the cost of an entire Horde unit. As the battle waned and began to turn to the favor of the Necrons, the units retreated. War boss Char Ul Okna may have lost the skirmish, but he knew they would win something more important, a lifetime of battle, a lifetime to cause fear in all creation. This battle report was submitted by my dad, our Ork player, who we appreciate very much.